Hello everyone, welcome to the last lecture of Unit 7, which is sampling bias and common errors. Whenever you are conducting a research and you have set your sampling criteria, the inclusion and exclusion criteria, you select your sample. So when you are selecting your sample, you need to take care of sampling bias and common errors. If you talk about sampling bias is a situation when you are collecting a sample in a way that one person has a probability of getting selected more than the other person. So, but you are actually biased in selecting your sample. For example, if I am conducting a research on the students and the use of cigarettes or maybe smoking in the students. So if I go and see that, why do students smoke and, what is the relationship between smoking and their studies? If I go and collect the data from the university students, so I cannot generalize those results to all of the students until or unless I collect the data from the students of different universities. If I select the students of different age groups, if I select the students, not only the regular students, but also the private students, and then see the relationship. But if I am only focusing on a particular group because I know that they all smoke and they use cigarettes, and so my sample would be biased because they will give me more positive positive answers towards it. But to make my sample unbiased, I have to intentionally find a population which represents all of them, like which represents different age groups, different genders, regular students, private students, students from different universities. So if I don't if I don't select my sample neutrally, the result of my phenomena will be wrong. I will not be able to apply the results to them. The second thing is the sampling error. The sampling error is basically the difference between the sample and the population. Usually if you increase your sample size, this error is reduced. When we talk about a sampling error, there are two types of sampling errors that you might make. You might make a sample error or a non-sample error. The sample error are basically the statistical errors that you make. Um, they cause the sample results from different from the results of the census. For example, if there is a gender difference in the population, so I need to make sure that I am taking I'm taking appropriate representation of both of them so that I can get the results proper. Sometimes you don't have a control over it. Just to give you an example, for example, if you want to see that how the children's, if you are working in a children's company and you want to see that, what influences people to buy a children's toy. So if you go and you study this to the children, then you might not have the correct answer because it's the parents who are making the decisions of buying something or not. The child might be tempted, the child might go and ask the parents to buy it for them, but it's basically the parents who are buying the that particular product. So when you are collecting your sample about the buying decisions, that you don't only need to see the thinking of the children, but also you need to see the what their parents think. If you don't see what their parents think, you might not be able to apply the result. So that will be a sampling error, because then the main person, the main parents is not taken into account. So if you increase the sample size, if you include them also in your research, then this error can be removed. The second type of error that we talked about is the non-sample error. This is not controlled by the sample size. This is further divided into two parts: non-response error and response error. So non-response error would be that you have selected a sample, but they're not interested in your research. They are not volunteering. They are not answering at all. Maybe they're not answering to some of the questions, maybe they're not answering to the entire questionnaire. So this might be, if you have forced them to take part in your study, maybe you're asking them questions that is making them uncomfortable. So you need to make sure that you make them comfortable, and this is the reason why I keep telling you that your sample needs to take part in your study voluntarily. खुशी खुशी आएंगे तो ही आपके पास सही result आएगा. The second is the response error. A response error is basically something that happens when you're collecting the data. For example, there can be a respondent error where the people are, they have lied to you, they forgot. जब वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं, maybe they are lazy, maybe they are not motivated. maybe they are unable to recall what they are saying. Then we have interview bias as well. For example, if you're taking the interview, you are leading the questions, you have an influence on the other person. Maybe the other person has a lot of workload, or you have a lot of workload, so you are unable to give proper attention to the interviews and the conversation that you're having with them. Then we can also have a measurement error. That means that when you're trying to collect a data, your instrument is incomplete. You thought that I will use some of the prompts to ask questions, but on spot you are unable to ask proper questions. So if your tool is not correct, you will make a measurement error. So these are some of the common types of errors that you might make. You might not be able to record them properly. So you might not have designed your questionnaire properly. So these are some of the non-sample errors. This would be the end of Unit 7. Thank you.